Here's hypothetical series odds for the NBA Finals. OKC right now would be minus 265 favorites over the Knicks. The Spurs would be minus 225 favorites over the Knicks. Those are both reasonably significant. So Vegas definitively likes the Western team over the Knicks. And we are delighted to welcome in Peter Rosenberg. Have you met Alan? Do you guys know each other? Okay, just making sure.
Love your work.
Thank you.
What's the name of your show, by the way? Great show you have.
Great afternoon show.
What is the name of the show?
Don, Hunt, and Rosenberg.
For those of you not aware, they host the afternoon show together on ESPN Radio New York. And Peter will dive into the wrestling a little bit later as well. But let's start with the Knicks of it all. I want you to hear what yesterday Kendrick Perkins and Vince Goodwill had a conversation about the Knicks' star power compared to the rest of the playoff field. I think you'll find this interesting.
Name me a better duo that's in the postseason right now than Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson.
Don't have one for you.
So, okay,
Wow.
So I've never seen a team complete and win a championship without having a Batman and Robin. Do the Spurs have a Batman and Robin right now? You take it too long. No. Okay. Do OKC have a Batman and a Robin right now?
No, their Robin is hurt.
Okay then, but the Knicks do.
So is that right? You're questioning it right off the bat?
Well, because the Robin for OKC is an entire bench. Yeah. What do you mean? The Robin has been a different Robin every night. Isn't that a great problem to have?
But the point is no JWill. No offense. The injury, the hamstring injury. That's his Robin. Not
so
Chet.
I'll give you a different Robin. He's probably not most of the times compared to Karl Anthony
Alex
Towns.
Caruso.
Yeah.
He's emerged
that dude
as one.
It's like Agent Chaos 24/7.
You know, my bigger question would be, does it matter?
No.
Not when you're that deep.
And by the way,
tell me.
The biggest star in the playoffs ain't a Knick.
Right.
Let's get that straight. The biggest star in the basketball world is in San Antonio.
Right.
And will be for the foreseeable future. With health, it will be him.
Right.
It will not be anybody in New York. It won't be anybody in LA. It will be him. It's interesting to just talk to people internationally about waking up at 7 in the morning to watch live because they want to see Wembanyama, period. Not waking up to see the Knicks.
Right.
By the way, that series with two small market teams outdrew the Knicks Cavaliers by 2 million people in game one. Nobody here wants to hear that in this city.
Well, listen,
because it's competitive. The other series wasn't.
No.
It's not competitive.
No, game one, Alan, it's because people looked at that series and saw two great teams potentially, and there was no attraction to the other team. Don't try to turn the Knicks into the Lakers or the Celtics when it comes to jersey sales, merchandise sale, internet, because they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're
They
not.
absolutely are.
Oh, they're not.
I was just going to wait. I am all about the Wemby of it all. As Alan knows, I am obsessed with the stardom this guy has, not just because of how he plays the game. Physically, he's incredible. It's his personality, too.
What he looks like, everything.
But we're so used to the international player, the European player being called a softie. This guy wants all the smoke. I love that. But the one issue I have with Perk, I almost think you're downplaying the Knicks by referring to Cat as a Robin, because really they're not a Batman and Robin, because you can't leave out OG Anunoby, who is a massive part. If they're going to win a championship, Alan, we talk about this every day, it is because OG Anunoby also contributed a lot on that road.
Yeah, and that's their depth, too. Like, the story of this Knicks team and why they've been on this run is not about Jalen Brunson being great or Karl Anthony Towns being great. It's about 5 guys, 5 starters, 5 straight games, averaging. All of them had double point
figures,
scoring.
yeah.
And that, to me, is what the team aspect is, why they're winning, not because of a singular star.
The truth is, JWill, the point that you were making about how OKC has all these Robins, the Knicks kind of do too. Because on any given night, it might be Mikal Bridges, and certainly the game is played on both sides of the floor. Mikal Bridges is doing that on the other side. I think people may be overlooking a little bit of how good the Knicks have been, and I did an essay on this yesterday trying to combat this by diminishing the opponents they're playing. And that's fine. You want to say the Sixers and the Cavs weren't the best competition. You're probably right. But what the Knicks have done to them is unprecedented.
Agreed.
They've obliterated. They've done everything they could do, which is obliterate everything in their path.
I guess the question is, do you believe the Knicks would have done the same thing to their opponents if they were in the Western Conference playing against the caliber of competition there? And I know you don't need to, because all you need to do is get to a championship.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that the Knicks and OKC are in the same class. I think that's okay. I think so. It doesn't mean that the Knicks don't have a chance to win. I just think that the depth and the style in which OKC plays is a worse matchup for the Knicks than the San Antonio Spurs because of the experience along with the depth.
What seems cool to me, as a old person who came of age with those great Knicks teams. That's when I started following basketball as a kid with my father, is that those teams were an ensemble. I mean, the 70 and 73 Knicks teams were an ensemble. Right. Yes, you can make the case. I sit next to Tony Kornheiser, who followed those teams growing up in New York all the time, and he says, well, I mean, he makes the argument that Willis Reed is the greatest Knick. There are people who make it that Clyde Frazier is the greatest Knick. It just shows how the ensemble, how great it was. And I don't want to necessarily invoke the 70 and 73 teams yet, but this is an ensemble.
Closest thing.
It really is. It reminds me only in that way, in that it's shared. And that, no, they can't be here without OG Anunoby. They can't be here without the new and improved Cat, who became point center Cat almost overnight, without Josh Hart, so without Mikal Bridges. I think that's the wonder of this Knicks
team. You
team.
actually can invoke it also for this reason. They've only been in the finals twice since. Right. They've only made it this far since 1973, 94.
But that team was so different in that you had a dominant figure in Patrick Ewing.
Right.
A dominant player. You knew who Batman and Robin was.
Right. He was both of them.
Here's what you need to know. We had Clyde Frazier on our show 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And we asked him about the comparisons to his teams of the 70s that went to 3 finals and won 2 championships and had 7 Hall of Famers on the 73 team. And he said, and if he says it, because he would never throw this stuff around like easily, he said, it reminds me, this team and the way they play reminds me of our team in 73. Which that is the highest compliment you can pay when you're Clyde Frazier.
Okay, so let's table this one for the moment. We have a lot more to do on all of the basketball. But, Peter, what are your plans for the weekend?
Oh, I'm going to be going to Turin, Italy.
Greeny.
A series-defining Game 6 is on the horizon tonight between the Thunder and Spurs. However, Game 5 was a struggle for Victor Wembanyama offensively. Wemby shot a postseason career-low 27% from the field and connected on 12 of 12 from the charity stripe. Head coach Mitch Johnson says San Antonio will need more from Wemby to push this series to 7.
He's got to take more than 15 shots, even with the free throws. And, yeah, he's going to have to score more than 20 points for sure. But there's a lot of things all over the place where even we had advantages and we just didn't make simple plays to take advantage of the opportunity in that possession. And in this type of game, you got to be sure of everything you're doing in a very secure, mature way.
Basketball analyst Jay Williams joins us now here on SportsCenter. JWill, you heard head coach Mitch Johnson right there on Wemby. They just need more from their star. How can the Spurs get him going?
Well, I think number one for a guy like Wemby, when he's knocking down his three-point shot, he's the best offensive player in the world. But his offense shouldn't be predicated on his defense. Defensively, he has to be way more active. And there are so many examples throughout the course of the game where he was in no man's land defensively, didn't have the same impact on the game from a blocking shots perspective. Look, I think it's fair to say Wemby is tired. Everybody's tired right now. But for a guy who averaged 29 minutes per game in the regular season, now to 39 minutes with a game every other day, you're seeing that cumulative effect. I think you need to find a way to make him a post player first and then a guard secondary instead of a guard primary and then a post secondary. When he's dominating inside the paint and he's getting putbacks and they're prioritizing getting him the ball on the block, he is a matchup nightmare. But when his game just is content to be on the outside and shoot threes, they're not getting the best version of him. He needs to be aggressive, and it starts with in the paint on the offense and defensive end.
All right, JWill, let's flip it over to the Thunder side then, an opportunity to close this series out on the road in Game 6. How can they get it done?
Well, everybody's going to tell you it starts with SGA, but frankly, I feel like it starts with Agent Chaos, and that's Alex Caruso. I mean, look, this dude is everywhere on the court. He makes shots. He does all the dirty work, and SGA can come alive when it matters the most, but it's the depth of this team ultimately with Hartenstein, with the way Williams is able to knock down shots from the outside, with the way McCain is able to get to the rack, with what Isaiah Joe can do. They're still without 2 of their primary ball handler, and you're still seeing SGA have marginal games and them still getting victories. I mean, this team, the depth that they have is ridiculous, but I think it starts with the energy they bring off the bench, and that starts with Agent Chaos.
All right, so there's analysis for both sides. Now I want to pick from you, my friend. Spurs favored by 3.5 at home. Who wins Game 6 tonight?
I'm going to go with the Spurs at home. I think Wemby's going to bring it home. I think OKC wins the spread, but I think Spurs win.
All right, so a tight game there, but the Spurs keep the series alive. Game 6 tipping tonight at 8:30 Eastern. JWill up early with us this morning on SportsCenter.